Morning ladies and gentlemen, Peter Racer here from Foundation Expo 88 YouTube channel, and we're in the Tats, and I'm having breakfast this morning with Sir Frank Moore, and there will be a formal YouTube that's loaded up on our YouTube channel, and we're going around and having a look at some of the wonderful artwork in the newly upgraded World Expo 88 Art Trail. Just had a beautiful breakfast with Sir Frank Moore up here at Tats, and this is the first part of the day's activities. Sir Frank over there in the distance. The one I thought was really interesting is this offer document, because that's for the sale of part of the site. So, sale of the site of Expo. Oh, really? Yeah, look at it. It's amazing. The whole thing's going to be digitalised, and I'll get you a PDF of it. And I'll even get it. And it'd be really nice to see it rotating again. So, Sir Frank, just give us a little bit of a feel. You were on the board of World Expo 88. Did you stay on the board for that whole 6 months operation, or had you stood down prior to the starting of Expo?
I stood down because I always felt our job was to get things to happen.
Yeah, which you did.
And then once it was up and running and doing its job, to leave that in the hands of people who were skilled at doing and delivering, and get on and get the next thing on the go.
As this morning unveils, you will see the personality and the character of Sir Frank come to the fore. A real tiger and a real powerhouse of tourism development in the state of Queensland. So we'll cut off here and we'll move on to the next part of this morning's journey of discovery. Morning everyone, we're on to the second part of this journey of discovery of the World Expo 88 Art Trail, and we're in King George Square. And what's significant about the jugglers, which is behind Sir Frank's right shoulder, is that the unveiling of this by Sir Llewellyn Edwards was the last tribute that Sir Lou has performed at this present stage. And I just think it's a wonderful piece of artwork. So Frank, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, I think that's tremendous that Sir Lou did this particular job. The way in which he led the whole production of the Expo was just far beyond anything we would have thought about when we first started our battle to go out and win the rights to do this in Queensland in the Australian bicentenary year. And
yes. So we do all of those. We get that coffee flavour, especially on Tuesdays. We've got a coffee and cake tea today as well. We've got that really yummy passion fruit bomb cake. It's like a sponge fairy cake with passion fruit seeds and crinkle and stuff. But too sweet treat. So.
It's really lovely.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
Behind you here, that's the work that was gifted by Peter.
Well, actually by John Barlow Hudson, to be brutally honest. So, Sir Frank, the sculptor called John Barlow Hudson, he did two major monumental works for Expo 88, and the stainless steel piece here is in the very last offcut out of a piece called Morning Star. And in World Expo 88, where Orgas House was, that was called Times Square, and if you remember, it had all that neon in the middle of it. It was brilliant. So John inscribed by hand a message to the people of Brisbane and people of Queensland, and it's been mounted on a sandstone block from Queensland, and to tie the memory threads together, it's a representative of Times Square.
It's got the clock
Yep.
things in it. Yeah.
I don't know how many people understand the reference, but
The little didactic there explains it.
very good.
Yeah.
Right, yes, I should have looked at that.
Great.
So, yes, so as Renee was saying, and I'll now let Renee finish off the story about the kindergarten. It's a brilliant story.
Oh,
No, it's not good. Here, sit with this one here.
well, it's amazing the way.
Every time I come up here, the Chinese tourists absolutely love Be Prepared. Peter Racy here. We're halfway through this morning's activities. We're up at Scout's Place and we just filmed the Be Prepared sculpture up here. A really fascinating morning. So we've just come up to what in effect is my favourite asset, which is Showdown up at Spring Hill here, just opposite the Centenary Pool. And we're just on our way down to the RNA to have a look at Expo 88 Place. We're now down at the RNA site. Sir Frank is standing next to me. So Sir Frank, what do you think of these bronzed Artbuster statues?
Well, they've captured not just the history of the Expo, the basic history of Australia.
They're brilliant, aren't they?
The drover and his mate and the dog. It is early Australia that still exists out there in the bush too.
Well, it is, and in your role when all of this started out, the historical role, being on the Outback Hall of Fame, I'm assuming that you're very happy that the cousins to these are actually out at Longreach.
Oh, indeed. It's the very place they should be.
Yeah, it's a very serendipitously placement of a bit of Expo 88 history, I think.
Well, it's all good Queensland history, and it all comes together. The one that was the start, and then what it's created along the way in history. It's wonderful stuff.
Yeah, it is indeed. And with that, Sir Frank, thank you so much for taking the time out this morning in your busy schedule. I'm sure all of this footage is going to knit together to be really a great historical statement on the beauty that is the World Expo 88 Art Trail.
Absolutely, and its contribution to what we are as a people.
Exactly.